So today is a special show, a special segment on the Jacked Up podcast. Today we have Jimmy C, we have Patty and DCX, and today we're going to talk about a very, very important event that's coming up. Let's go ahead and start it off. Jimmy, what's the event coming up?
The event is Rock in the Sand. RockInTheSand.com. I have to do that because people go, Rock in the Sand, Rock in the Sand. Anyway, RockInTheSand.com. We are raising money for Anna Maria Island, all the service workers, all the people who lost jobs, lost money, and a lot of things down there. So, yeah.
And how did they lose the money? Why did they lose the money?
Milton.
And
Helene, right.
So two massive hurricanes came through and rocked that area, rocked it.
Yeah. No pun intended.
So you guys are going to do a charity concert, a benefit concert, and you're going to raise monies. That's great. What's the date?
13 bands, right? 13 bands.
13 bands. Maybe a couple of, there's going to be a couple of surprise guest stars.
So
too.
13 bands. That means it's going to be a full day.
Full day.
It's like 11 to 11?
11 to 11.
11 to 11.
Okay. So it's like one band per hour or like
It's going
45
to be less.
minutes?
It's going to be less than an hour per band because we got to fit them all in. And not because we have to fit them all in. They want to do it.
So Jimmy, being that you're the arranger, the producer, that guy, you're in charge of the music, you're going to get it flowing, you're going to keep it moving?
I'm going to hope so.
Okay.
Or I'm going to, you won't see me.
How many stages are you going to have?
We initially want 2 stages. It may be 1. It depends on the solo acts. If I can get these guys in line, I can use 1 stage. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
You know.
Some of the solo guys that I think you're talking about, they like to play forever and ever and ever.
Yes, Yeah.
You got to tell them, say, look, man, you got 15 minutes, and then you get them the whole hook.
Well, that's the initial reason why we have the 2 stages. And I'm saying this, and I hope my friends that are playing see this because I love to bust their chops. But they all, I say they all, but we all as musicians, we're hard to deal with.
Yeah.
So, we have to kind of.
Now, why would somebody want to come to this event?
Because the musical community here and Anna Maria Island is so tight. It's so tight. We need to keep it tight. And everybody wants to play there. This is where everybody cuts their teeth. You know what I mean? Everybody goes out there and plays sometimes for nothing. We hate playing for nothing.
Yeah.
But we've gained a lot of parties. I was just talking about before, a lot of other gigs, a lot of shows, a lot of notoriety because of the island. A lot of people visit. A lot of local people go there. That's great. A lot of people visit from all over the place and come here every year and say, "Where's that band?" They come down every year.
Yes.
Concrete Egger. They want to see their favorite bands, and they're going to spend money on the island.
To your point, there's some very, very talented musicians that play Anna Maria Island regularly.
Absolutely.
Therefore, a lot of people want to come and see them because either A, they live around here, or B, they're just pure tourists and snowbirds.
They come here every year and want to see their favorite bands.
And they're going to be there in attendance. So let's hear some of the bands. Tell us some of the bands are going to be performing.
Well, we got the Cabana Dogs. We're like the host band. We've got Concrete Edgar.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Tommy B.
We've got
Jaw Movement.
Rob Ham.
We'll tell
you have Jaw Movement. That's
Jaw
pretty-
Movement is
Jaw
opening
Movement's
up.
opening up the
They're
show.
opening
That's
up the
impressive.
show at 11.
Yeah. We've got a band called Domino Pink. They're from Palmetto. They do like a psychedelic.
Cool.
We need to mix it up. So
Yeah, man.
younger band,
All
great guys.
sorts of styles.
Luke
of music.
Andrews.
Luke Andrews Music's
Rob Ham.
Steve Paradise.
Steve
Rob Ham.
Paradise.
Yeah.
Dos Max is playing.
Is Naughty Girl going to be there?
Naughty Girl's going to be there.
She's
Yes.
smiling.
Yes, she is.
She's
Yes, she
smiling.
is.
And the
Now,
rest
unfortunately, Jacked
And
Up
her band too.
Unfortunately, Jacked Up won't be performing, but we will be supporting from
Yes.
every
from
possibility.
afar.
Appreciate that.
But I think we're going to try to get Larry to come up and play a few
He
songs
should.
with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Larry's very bored and he's lonely. And he's-
We'll unlolly him. We'll get him out there.
so
to play.
Patty, tell us more about the logistics, like the date, the time, the venue,
it's
the
Saturday,
location.
Saturday, January 25th. It's at Whiskey Joe's, and we don't want to negate put out there that Whiskey Joe's has been extremely willing to do whatever we wanted them to
Whiskey
do.
Joe's in Ellington.
In Ellington,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Yes, right.
On the
'cause there's
Manatee
2.
River.
So it's waterfront. I mean, where are you going to go? Waterfront, sunny day, 12 hours of music, and then your favorite bands. If you follow local music, you're going to see these guys all the time. When is the Cabana Dogs playing? Where's Steve Paradise tonight? That's cut short for a lot of these individuals because a lot of them played on the island. So don't forget that these musicians also lost a lot of their gigs temporarily while the island is rebuilding. So it's a nice opportunity for these people to, A, not to have to drive all the way out to the island for once if they live out in Parrish or Palmetto or deeper into Bradenton, and B, to get them all in one place if they haven't seen them for a while. Because we're going on, 3 months now since the hurricane ended? Yeah. So it's January 25th. It's 11 to 11. It's a Saturday. It's on the water. We're selling 2 types of tickets. There is a VIP ticket for $100 that includes a VIP tent access with food all day
Ooh.
and beer. which is unbelievable. And that is thanks to Whiskey Joe's. And I think that's very generous of them to do
How
that.
can people purchase tickets?
So we have an Eventbrite site, and then at rocknthesand.com, there's a link to the tickets. Tents are provided by Beach Dogs. Stage is provided by Bo's Imaging Center. We have some giveaways. We have some very expensive bottles of, what is it now? Pappy who? Pappy Van Winkle.
Pappy
They're
Van
like,
Winkle.
$1 billion bottles that have been donated from the Bose family, as well as Time Saver on the island, to give away, in addition to a wonderful day on the water. So if they go to the website, they'll be able to at least get a link for the ticket, and a lot of this will be available for them to buy tickets for the giveaway.
Okay, so they can buy tickets online, and they need a ticket to get in, but can you buy a ticket day of?
You can buy a ticket day of. It will be the same amount of money. If you happen to be, if you choose to eat at Whiskey Joe's that day, you can also get in at a discounted rate just for being a patron of Whiskey Joe's. They're also providing parking, so that's going to, logistically, they're handling all of that, and that's going to be a little bit easier. So if anybody's starting to consider, well, parking's going to kind of be a bitch over at Whiskey Joe's in Elton, it's not, because there is some construction going over there, but they're taking care of that. So they're going to make that very accommodating to everybody. So, obviously we don't want you to wait until that day. We do want you to get in there as soon as possible. And we want you to go in and look at the lineup, because there may be bands that you're hoping to see. And remember, this is not 2-hour, 3-hour sets. So you want to make sure that you're there when the bands that you particularly want to see, or spend 12 hours there. I don't know.
Should you bring a launch chair?
Bring a beach chair. Absolutely, bring a beach chair.
You can bring a beach chair. Beach Dogs Island Essentials is also going to rent, and proceeds will also go to the cause. Nothing collected there is going anywhere but to the cause. Let's just make that very clear. They'll have some chairs there for rent, some lawn chairs for rent as well.
And there will be a tip jar.
Giant tip jar.
That wasn't me. There will be a giant tip jar in front. Okay,
that we would like
right
to
in front of
fill.
the bands, and obviously it's all going. No, the bands are graciously not getting paid. No one's getting paid to do this. Every cent goes to the cause.
Okay, great question. So somebody's living in, say, Chicago, and they can't make it, but they really want to support. How can they help financially?
2 different ways. They can buy a ticket and donate it to somebody that they know locally. That would be great. Buy multiple tickets for people that they might know locally. Or just buy the ticket and let the money go to the cause. We're also post-event going to see how many things like T-shirts that we have left that we can put online to sell. There'll be some cool shirts and things that they can purchase.
So DCX, tell us about some of the businesses that were affected and some of the people that are going to be receiving these monies.
So the whole impetus behind this entire event was that obviously not only are all of the bands, or many of the bands that usually play out on the island, we missed out on a lot of opportunities to gig in some of our favorite venues and see some of our favorite people. But we're essentially locals, and we know a lot of the locals, and a lot of the locals there on the island support our bands and are simply our friends. I used to live on the island. Patty used to live on the island. So a lot of people that we know lost cars, homes, all of their personal possessions, had their, garages and homes flood. And, more importantly, to this point, this is the cause here is specifically to assist with island workers who, the restaurants and the bars and all of the venues that were affected that have been closed down. Many, many, many of them have rebuilt and reopened, and there are more reopening every day. So absolutely, be on the island websites and looking to see who is open and patronize as many of those businesses as possible, as quickly as possible. However, in the meantime, wait staff, servers, bar managers, bartenders, obviously business owners, everyone has just, lost out on a tremendous amount of money in this interim, either from personal losses of their personal possessions or losses of their job and income. So
what should somebody do that's listening to this that actually was a waiter or waitress or busser, and they want to apply to get some funds? Like, how do they contact you?
So the Center of Anna Maria did a big poll. I don't know if you guys remember that Leonard Skinner came to town and they put together a lot of money. They're opening up that fund to receive whatever donations we can, and it's going to be the same system. So there you'll be able to go to the Anna Maria Island Center and apply for them. Those links post-event will be also available on the Rock and the Sand website, which we're not going to shut down. I think we're going to keep it going for numerous reasons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for numerous and continue to collect money. But that is where we are. We are donating to that same fund that took place back then.
Now, I understand there's been a special song that's been produced. Would you tell us about that?
Yes,
There is.
Hum a few bars.
No, anyway, so the song is called Anna Maria. And it's obviously written about Anna Maria, place we love. I've vacationed here since the 70s. Love the place. Always been there. So we wrote a song called Anna Maria, and I've gotten most of the people, members of all the bands, to come up and sing a little bit on it in the studio. So that's going to be out within the next week. So you'll have it. Everybody will have it. Dana's singing on it with me.
Like when you say it's going to be out, like how can somebody listen to it? How do they find it?
Well, it's going to be on iTunes. It's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be on all the platforms.
Could it possibly be on the website? Can you maybe get a link there?
Yes, and also if you want to preview this lovely song that Jimmy has written, and all of our musical friends here have participated in, we're actually taking this show on the road. We're going to be on ABC Suncoast View. I think it's
Fantastic.
the View. Yeah, and that'll be on Tuesday, the 21st. So right before the event. And you two will be performing that with some other guests, correct?
Correct. That is correct.
So the song was somewhat the impetus of this entire idea. Once the hurricane hit and it became evident what kind of devastation we were facing, what kind of economic losses had befallen our friends and our business owners and people that we know and love on the island, I reached out to Jimmy and said, now would be a great time for us to record or to release the song that you've written, and let's see if we can generate some proceeds, as a benefit from the song. And so then it just the whole music festival took on a life of its own from there, where we just decided to run with it and make it a whole day of music and fundraising and fellowship and getting all of our musical friends to come together and just celebrate the musical community and the island community, and ask our friends from afar to do what they can. A lot of people have reached out to various groups on Facebook and other social media sites. How can we help? How can we help? How's the island? How are things going? This is how you can help. So buy tickets, buy as many tickets as you can afford. Just send money. I mean, if you can come, if you can't come, there'll be clips of the show that'll be produced and released on the website and on Facebook and things like that. So if you're in Wisconsin or Missouri or New Hampshire or Chicago and you're not able to be there, you'll definitely be able to get a flavor of the fun that we had that day. And you'll definitely be able to feel good about your donation going directly to the center of Anna Maria Island, who has been the hub of all of the fundraising and charitable efforts that have happened on the island since day one. They've been the headquarters for people that were tearing down and rebuilding. They've distributed food, water, clothes, tools, cleanup supplies, construction, everything and anything. The center of Anna Maria has literally been
Is there anybody we want to shout out to from that particular facility?
Chris, who is the director over there, great guy. I mean, he did a phenomenal job with everything. I mean,
and Amy as well.
Amy Tobin absolutely has helped quite a bit with this fundraiser. She created the website for us. She's doing a lot of marketing. Right. She's a longtime islander. She lives in Cortez now. But what I don't want people to think is, it's been 3 or 4 months, the island is back, like, what's this guy? No, there's still so much to go. We have the catastrophe du jour now with, California's on fire. And 3 months from now, we won't even be talking about that. But it's going to take them years to rebuild. And there's still a lot of people that are trying to rebuild their lives on Anna Maria Island.
There are a lot of people that are still displaced.
It doesn't end. I mean, if you can imagine waking up one day, not knowing that the next day you lost your job, your husband lost his job, you both lost your side hustle, and by the way, you lost your home
and your car
and your car
and your personal
Those
belongings.
Stories are in abundance. I mean, it's just crazy how many of those stories. And for people to say, well, they're just servers, they can just leave the island and go get a job somewhere else. No, because those places were inundated. You understand what I'm saying? So I know people that have been trying to find work off the island that are now on their 5th job. And it's just, it's still very much a need. So I hope people don't fall into that whole,
complacency.
Yeah.
And just to backtrack just for a second, with the music, we've got 3 members adding songs to this. We're going to make a CD out of it because people are throwing their talents in. So most of the bands that are going to be there at this event are recording parts of island music that are form of island music, and we're going to have a full CD, and it's all going to be on the website.
Fantastic.
So, and I'm recording them for free, obviously.
Final thoughts. I mean, God bless you guys for doing what you're doing first and foremost, right? Because from day one, you guys, the 3 of you particularly, I know you're part of a team, but you guys were on the cutting edge as far as getting it done. Let's do this thing, right? Planning it, right? Which is not easy. It's not easy to plan this thing. So Jimmy's the spearhead on that.
Yes.
But and anyway,
you were on that text thread when he was like,
oh yeah,
guys,
yeah,
we got to do something. Yeah.
There was no doubt, and it was a long test thread. But nonetheless, thank you for
Still
coming
fun.
on the show. Just to summarize, it's going to be on Saturday, January 25th.
Right.
It's going to be a full day from 11 to 11. It's in Ellington, Florida. It's a place called Whiskey Joe's. Bring all your family and friends. Buy tickets in advance. If you have to, you can buy them at the gate. All the proceeds are going to this wonderful charity. You guys are looking to raise thousands and thousands and thousands
Please.
of dollars.
Absolutely, yes.
The money will be handled properly and it will get into the hands of the displaced hospitality workers.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
I think you summed it up well.
I think you summed it up well.
What's the website one more
Buy
time?
your tickets.
Rock, the letter N, thesand.com.
Rockinthesand.com.
Right.
And it's up right now.
You can also find it on my Facebook, your
My
Facebook,
Facebook.
your Facebook, everybody's
Yeah.
I'll
Facebook.
put it on my Facebook.
It's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Please do.
And,
Yes.
and I have no problem when people direct message me and ask me questions about it.
Same
And
here.
I'm sure you guys don't
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
we're there to answer.
Well, the three of
whatever.
you, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you,
And
K-Rock.
we'll see you on the 25th.
Yes.
Appreciate you.